Hello, y'all. Let me angle you guys down a little bit. See what we got going on here. How are you guys? Oh my goodness. Okay, um I'm going to put on my notification, y'all. Don't swipe. If you swipe, it's gonna cost you a lot of money. But I just want to let people know that I'm on because I kind of changed my plan for the day, y'all. Hello, how are you guys? Oh my goodness, I'm trying to see if I can get my camera to play a little nicer. Let's see. Let's see what we could do here. I want you guys to be able to see what I'm working on. How are you guys? Welcome in. Welcome in. Feel free to share out the show. Let me know where you're watching from. Okay, yeah, that's a little better, guys. Hello, how are you guys? Okay, I'm going to share out this with a couple of my peeps. Let them know that I'm on. And yeah, we would just love to have everybody join. Hello there. How are you? We are just kind of jumping on. I decided to do something a little bit different than I was planning on doing today and not really feeling up to doing a show, y'all. So we're crafting instead because, oh, you're out running errands? Well, hey, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. I went out yesterday. I finally got myself out of the house yesterday for a minute. I wasn't out for very long, but I did get out for a minute. And so I'm just going to craft today, y'all, because I have a mess everywhere. And I was going to do a live for a, sell some stuff and decided that I really was not prepared um to do that because I do have quite the mess everywhere, y'all, of things that I've been working on and that need to be finished up. Does anybody else like go through that where you just kind of leave a mess, walk away for a little bit? Your intentions are good. You're planning on going back to it, but you just don't get to it yet. And it's kind of where I'm at right now. And I just had a big mess and just decided, you know what? I just need to finish up the items that I'm working on. And what better way to do that than with all your friends? So that's what we're doing. I'm just going to go in real fast and add a couple of things into my bin because I wasn't planning on doing this show. So, of course, I didn't add them in beforehand. But it's just mostly crafty things or fun things that I think you guys might like. So I'm just going to add those in real fast and then I'm going to share with you guys kind of what I got going on, what I think is fun, and oh, that might actually be kind of cute. I don't know. Um, so let's see. Let's add these items in. Like I said, share this out with your friends. Let them know. And you guys, we are streaming on YouTube. And so if you ever miss one of my shows, you can catch it on the replay on YouTube. It is the same um, I'll just do that. That'll be fine. That's good. We're good. We've got it. Good enough. Hello, little Miss Crafty. How are you, my friend? My YouTube name is the same as my business name here, Four Hearts ABCs. So, you guys, a little bit of an update. I the last time I was crafting with did a craft with me, I was giving a little bit of an update on my mom, and then I uh got some news right after that, you guys, um, and it was not great news. So it's kind of thrown me for a loop. Um, and I'm kind of been in a bit of a funk the last couple days, and so yeah, I'm up, I'm going, I am doing something something more than sitting in bed watching YouTube and whatnot. Um, and decided that I need to finish the projects I'm working on, you guys. So let's see if I can't keep you guys in frame here and share with you guys what I'm working on. Angle you guys a little bit better. There we go. That might be better. Okay, so this is kind of where I left off last time. You guys didn't get to see me add this, but I think I talked about that I was going to add it. Isn't it pretty? I thought it turned out really good so far. Just kind of a little mixed media piece here. And I stitched on, well, this is stitched on after I got, this is where the, you guys, my battery died. Um, on my last ship, my last craft with me. My battery died. So I did not, you guys didn't get to see me finish putting on this flower. That is an IOD transfer. I stamped the word risen here with my clickable stamps. And then I added this doily on. I stitched this onto the fabric here. I stitched this on. Oh, I do those as well. I have some cut out. I just haven't gotten them completely done yet, my friend. But I love the quilt bunnies. I did just go pull out a bunch more of my quilt stuff, and I'm getting ready to leave at the end of this week to go into Arizona and see my mama. And she has lots of sewing machines, you guys. She was a seamstress and stuff. And so I just, on my downtime, I tend to use her sewing machine and do some stuff. So I might bring some of that with me. But as you can see, you guys, I don't know, maybe you can see it's kind of just stitched in there. And then I put this down just so I could get a better idea and try to start getting the hello, my friend. Start getting the fabric to form to where I was thinking. Now I'm just kind of like thinking it needs to be finished up. And I'm kind of toying with an idea that I just had as I was like putting stuff in my bin. Um, I kind of saw these and I thought, well, maybe this would be cute. Oh, thank you so much. So, you guys, a little bit of an update, for those that have been kind of watching what's going on. Um, so, I got news on the other day. What do you guys think? Is that cute? Is that good? Or is that like too much? That my mama is not going to get better than she is right now. And that really hit a little hard. Um, so, you know, there's a reason for everything. I just have to find that reason in this one. Do we like this or do we not like this? I mean, it looks a little bright, but I'm kind of thinking like the lamb and Jesus, but nah, I don't know. It looks a little childish compared to the other. I'm no okay, but these are in my bin, you guys. You get two of them. They're so cute. Yeah, I'm not real um I'm not real good with it. You know what I mean? I've got a lot of weird feelings about it, and so it's just she so I for those of you that don't know, I found her my stepdad passed away um in at the end of October. And 2 days after he passed away, and I flew in for his celebration of life, um, when I showed up at my mom's from the airport, I found her down and had to break a window and get into the house and call 911 and the whole deal. And so, anyways, she ended up in ICU for 2 weeks, and then um, the hospital for another week, and then rehab for 2 weeks. And now she's in assisted living. And, physically, she's doing much better, even though she fell. So I think I was on, yeah, I think I was on my last craft with me. I think I was on the 24th. Um, and I got the news on the 24th that she now has had her 6 month evaluation and has been diagnosed with um, brain damage, basically brain damage dementia. which means the brain damage that she sustained from the stroke and seizure has basically put her into dementia, is what I'm understanding. And so she is not going to get better as far as her thought processes, her memory, that kind of stuff. So that was a little devastating to hear, but we kind of expected it. The doctor was they were really good, and they were trying to. I got this on here now. I'm like, oh, can I get it off? Um, they were trying to like prepare us for that. And then the next day, you guys, was her was her let's see, the 25th was her 68th, yeah, 68th birthday. And I sent her flowers and all this stuff, thinking that I was going to just make her day. And my other sister was flying into Arizona and all this stuff. Well, she got up in the morning and went to go have breakfast. And when she got done with breakfast, she went into her room and fell and hit her head, which her head is fine. But she broke her arm. So she spent her birthday in the hospital getting all these tests and with a broken arm. And oh my gosh, you guys, it's just like, can this poor woman get a break? I'm just so sad about the whole thing. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. Oh, these things like, okay, I think that's good enough. I'm thinking I want this on the side. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking that this may be. I know. I feel so bad for her. I'm just so sad. Um, so like I said, I today's really my first day up and about. I kind of have held down my bed for a couple of days, and I fly out on Friday to go to Arizona to see her, and I just need to get myself motivated, get out of bed, and get some things done before before I leave. So, um, cleaning up my mess that I left behind is that. So I'm kind of thinking this is probably. I think this is going to be done, you guys. I think I want to put a messy bow here. And what do you guys think? Do you think that's enough? Um, right? I don't, I have issues. Greenhouse junk tanks. I have issues with my feet. I have two different diagnoses with my feet. And that's why when I talk about my family's going to um Europe, and I'm not going. And if anybody knows me, I'm a huge traveler. I love to go see and do and all the things. And so yeah, this is gonna okay, that's what I'm saying. I have neuropathy in my feet. And I also have a new diagnosis as of um the last year. I have something called Raynaud's syndrome, and my feet don't get blood circulation to them. So between the two diagnoses, sometimes I cannot do the things that I need to do. And so I was not going to go to Europe and be on a set schedule of all the different tours they're going on and stuff like that. So my husband is going to go chaperone my daughter on that. And I will have to go to Europe later. But I cannot tell you, I am not the green monster over here, because I am so jealous of all the fun things they're going to get to do. I'm like, oh man, I want to go so bad. But okay. So, um that's what I'm going to do for that one, you guys. And I've decided I want to do. So I'm working with my. Ooh, make sure my lid's done. Um, I want to do my. Um, boy, guys, my brain. This is coffee grunge. The coffee grunge. And so I'm going to do this real fast on a project and just kind of chat with you guys while we're working on that. Because I have an idea. And does anybody know? Does Hobby Lobby have their 4th of July items out yet? I don't know if they do. I have not seen. Well, hello, you guys. Welcome in. We are just chatting and crafting. Oh, they don't? Son of a gun. Okay, well, when they do, this was one that was I had bought off of a whatnot sale. Um, and so look at see how crunchy that is. Ugh. That was in the coffee grunge. Oh, you were there yesterday. Okay, well then I won't worry about driving in and going to go see because they're like 30-ish minutes from me. I just created so many bubbles in this. Um, so anyways, I want to coffee grunge this up. I want to grunge this up and give it more of a distressed look. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. But my thought was if Hobby Lobby and other said craft places had their 4th of July stuff out, when they have their 4th of July stuff out, I probably will get these kinds of flags and do the same thing. I do have fabric that I make flag items with. But I don't have I don't know. I thought I had bought some of these kinds of flags before, and they're probably in a tote somewhere, you know. But do I have them right now? Nah, you know, because that would just be convenient. But anyways, you guys, I have on the 4th of every month. Well, hello, my friend. On the 4th of every month, we are going to I have a 4th of July or patriotic show. Um, and we're celebrating the 250th. So, it's kind of what I'm thinking about putting this in for. So, I'm going to let this kind of dry, you guys, but that's kind of my thought. We'll see how it works on this. It's that really slick fabric. So, I'm not 100% sure how it's going to take this Coffee Podge, but I definitely think it'll at least give it a little bit more of a darker look so that it's not so stark white and cheesy looking. Um, Unfortunately, it's really hard to find in the craft world, anyways, good looking flags. So we make them look good, right, y'all? Okay, I'm gonna set that aside. Hello, okay, you guys. I just was on our friend. Let me see, where am I gonna stick this? Old Made New Creations, y'all. And she was doing a show this morning. I set my alarm. Yes, I set an alarm, y'all, so that I could get up and go see this show she was doing. So I need my coffee. Um, and she was making these really cute hats, you guys. She was putting on granny squares, doilies, um, she put on quilt, like, little sewn quilt patches that she made. Oh my goodness. So much goodness, you guys. So go bookmark Old Made New Creations. Give her a follow because she has some really cute things she's doing, y'all. And you don't want to miss out. So, okay, let's finish up this project. I keep like wanting to do other new things and then um you know what? Everybody made such amazing hats. I could not believe the ideas and the combinations that were made, y'all. Like so good. Okay, I just turned on my glue gun, y'all. This is such an amazing glue gun. So this one is I have the really big one from Ryobi. Um, and I really do like it, but it drips a lot. Like you cannot have that thing on without putting something underneath it. So, oh, you have this one, yeah. And so then after I got the really big one, then I got this one, and it comes with the little like drip tray. Love it, you guys, love it. But I do have both sizes. Like this one takes like the little glue sticks, and then the big one takes the thicker ones. Well, I can't find my thick glue sticks, so we're switching over to this one, which works perfectly fine. So that's the glue gun I'm going to use today, and I do like their glue guns though. It's a lot better than just a regular run of the mill glue gun. So you guys, I made these just spindles. I put the sweet pickings in the sweet potato on them. Then I sealed them in with gosh, I got stuff everywhere, y'all. I sealed them in with liquid patina from DIY. Then I used the DIY dark wax, waxed them. Now they look like they've come out of the dirt, and I absolutely love that. Um, I also made, and these aren't done yet, y'all. These are still another process that I want to do to them. I made these little muslin tags. Okay, I did make these on screen last time, and let me see if I could find where I put them. Um, of course, I can't find them, but I stamped them first, and then I had decided, hello, Lolly. And then I had decided I wanted to do the coffee grunge on them and grunge them up. Okay, they were this color originally. Okay, that's not a bad color. I mean, it's good, right? But I wanted to grunge them up, and so there we go. I did the coffee grunge on them. This is what they look like, but and I knew this was going to happen when I did it. I had stamped these with a water-based ink, okay, and it showing up on camera that it's really faint, but really it's not. There, I mean, you can see them, anyways. But because it was water-based, when I added this water-based coffee grunge, it just bled all that ink. I mean, you couldn't even read it. It was just fine. I could have just stamped back over those, but I had decided I didn't like the size of those, and I like to rip my fabric, so I started back again from square one. I made these a little bit thinner than I did last time, and I copy grunged them first. Then I went on and I stitched them. Okay, so I stitched them on my sewing machine. That's going to do two things. Well, first of all, the coffee grunge is going to stop it from fraying anymore. It's not going to fray. Um, but if I had not copy grunged them, when you stitch, it stops your fraying. It's the fraying will stop at that stitch mark if they continue to stitch or fray. But I went ahead, I stitched it. I like that extra dimension, and then I stamped on the bunny bait on them. And I think I want to back it with another, either a cardstock or another fabric. And then I'm going to hang them from my carrots. I think that's going to be super cute. But I need to finish these carrots. And to do so, I'm going to grab some of this. Let me just grab a stem. I get my um, greenery from Hobby Lobby. I like this stuff, and I like to get the greenery in the garland section when you can find the greenery that you're looking for, when you find what you think works with your project. Okay, so I just grab that because it is the cheapest way to do it, y'all. I mean, not to say it's cheap, and it's really nice looking greenery. I mean, that looks pretty realistic. So this is what I'm going to use for my carrots. Um, and so let's see, how am I going to, what do I want to do here? I want to, thank you for sharing. I appreciate you guys. I want to grab, I have two pairs of sewing scissors here, and I don't really want to use my sewing scissors. So, oh, there's my other scissors. Okay, I have, y'all, I have these scissors, which are pretty good. And then I have Dollar Tree scissors. They're good in a pinch, but I'd rather not. Okay, here we go. Um, so I'm just gonna kind of cut up some of these. I want to cut off this extra like stem piece because that'll look weird in there. Um, but I just kind of want to cut these where I can glue them in and they'll look right. Um, so I pulled out like every carrot looking carrot looking spindle I could find in my stash. I don't really have a lot of spindles, but I did grab out what I could find. And so I have some different ones. And I don't think I need that big old bulky piece. Okay. So let's see how many it takes to make this carrot look right. Um, so these carrots, like I said, I just kind of grunged them up to make them look fun. And I was talking in my other video, make sure when you're making your carrots, you go around it for yeah, with your paintbrush, because if you go up and down, your strokes are gonna show, and it's weird because a carrot doesn't grow like that. So, okay, y'all, words today, right? It's still early. Need more coffee. I say it's early, y'all, but technically it is 11 o'clock here um in Oregon. It's not really that early, and I've been up for quite a while, y'all. Like, I got up to watch our friend make hats, and ended up buying some hats because, of course, you gotta, right? Um, so I just, we drilled some holes in these, y'all. So I'm just gonna stick that greenery down in the holes. So, anyways, so I've been up for a while. I shouldn't be as, you know, not it's not really that early here, but I'm a sleeper, y'all. And like I said, I've been kind of down and having a hard time getting motivated. Our sweet friend, and she's my mod on here, Little Miss Crafty, has been, checking in on me, trying to motivate me and get me going. And came in here this morning and I was like, I'm supposed to be doing a show. And I have stuff everywhere. And I was like, no, we're not going to do a show. We're going to go craft with our friends. We're going to chat, and we are going to, you too, my friend. I am sorry to hear that. Um, it's really difficult for me because, um, I deal with depression anyways, and I take medication for it. I like my happy pills, y'all. Um, but I tend to be a very positive person. I like to find the bright side of things, and that kind of thing. Hello, my friend. And just getting bad news. Um, Sometimes just there we go. I think three of them is gonna work. Just really throws me for a loop sometimes, and I was really thrown. It was one of those things where I knew, like, my sister had been talking to the doctors. I have one sister that's still in Arizona, and she had been talking to the doctors, and the doctors had basically already, like, set the expectation. Like, they had already kind of told my sister, we're pretty sure your mom's diagnosis is going in this direction. And my sister had told me. I mean, it wasn't like a huge surprise by any means. We were kind of prepared for it, but how do you really prepare for a parent to um to be in a bad spot? Like, I don't know. I think I prepared for the end of my mom's life, if that makes sense. Um I prepared for her end of life, like how I would handle my siblings and, that kind of thing. But I don't think I ever prepared for my mom to be really ill. Like, that was that was never something I think that ever crossed my mind, that was going to be something that you deal with. I mean, me and my sisters, I have four sisters, y'all. I have four sisters and a stepbrother. And me and my sisters had like teased, like, when mom gets old and needs to live with somebody, you're it, kind of a thing. But that was like old age. That wasn't like, right? You just can't. Well, and nobody could have predicted that. Hello, my friend. Nobody could have predicted that my mom, I mean, she had like mini strokes before. Like, she had her first one here. Hi. Like 5 years ago, she had her first mini stroke while she was here for my son's graduation. Um, and and her family has, you know, stroke issues and heart issues and things like that. So it's like we kind of knew the direction she was going in, but who could have prepared for her to have a stroke that ended up triggering they called it a prolonged seizure. Um, and it's really, you guys, it's really interesting to kind of look at how the brain works. So really, we were me and my sister, because I have one sister that lives in Arizona. We were, playing detective, um, while my mom was in ICU and sedated. And we were kind of trying to like figure out the timeline, like, because I had gotten to her at 5:30 that evening is when I had found her. Um, I do not sell DIY. I used to sell DIY, Vicky. I sold DIY when I had my brick and mortar, and then I went from there to like a craft booth or a vintage booth, like a resale booth. And then when I left there, I stopped selling DIY, and now I just use up what I have. It is my favorite for sure. Um, but anyways, I had found her down, and me and my sister had kind of like we played detective, and we were like, okay, so who talked to her last, whatever. So we ended up finding out that my mom last talked to, of all places, the mortuary last. That's her very last phone call was to the mortuary. And they had said when we talked to them that she was kind of acting a little weird. She was super tired when they talked to her, and they thought it was a little odd that she did not know the street address where she lived. And we were like, yeah, that is weird because she's lived there for 20 years. um so that, my friends, was at 9:45 in the morning. So we know, based off of that conversation, that she was in the middle of probably having a stroke when she talked to the mortuary. So that was at 9:45 in the morning, y'all, and I found her at 5:30 at night. Um so I don't know if she was down that whole time, but we do know that something was going on with her that whole time. And so when they found her, she was in when the ambulance had gotten there, she was in full-fledged ketoacidosis. Like that was, Vicky, that was in October, at the very end of October. And I found her, and I ended up staying until I think the end of the first week in December I was there. And I've been going back every month for about a week. I'm going back on Friday. Um, and so here's the thing, you guys. So she was when the ambulance had gotten there, and she was having her stroke, or her seizure. Um, so her blood sugar was at 500, 500, full on ketoacidosis. Like, she was not in good shape, right? But she had been down all day, so her blood sugar would have been super off, right? And so here's an interesting fact that I learned, um, that both a stroke, a seizure, and ketoacidosis can, or I should say, a stroke and ketoacidosis can throw you into a seizure. Isn't that interesting? I did not know that prior to this situation. And um so yeah, she was not well. And I was actually really surprised. The neurologist in ICU, the neurologist actually showed us her MRI. We got to see her what her brain looked like, and the stroke or the seizure, the prolonged seizure, is actually what caused the most damage. And while she was actually sedated in ICU, she had a secondary stroke, which affected her right side, but not permanently. She has a little bit of weakness in the right side, but she has gotten most of her mobility back on that side, which is fantastic. Because at first she couldn't even move her right side at all. Um, so um, so yeah, I mean, just really interesting. And they were saying that the brain will do most of its healing the first 6 months. In the 6 month mark, you will get back 80% of whatever your body is going to give you back. In recovery is going to happen in that first 6 months. 80% of what you're going to get back for 6 months. And then the next 6 months, you will get back the other 20% of what you're going to get back. I mean, it's not like you're going to get back 100% um, in the next 6 months. So the second half of your recovery is actually a lot slower, a lot less. Um, and so that's why they waited until 6 months to do her evaluation, to see where she would be at. And like I said, it's not surprising to hear that um, I know diabetes can, and she does have diabetes. She has diabetes. She's actually, you guys, this is really interesting. So my mom, has a whole lot going on. Anyways, like she was already, but she had been taking care of my stepdad who had COPD for the last 20 years, and he lasted 10 years longer than they had expected him to. And in the last month, she had been only sleeping 2 hours at a time. And then she was setting an alarm every 2 hours to get up and give him his medication. And she wasn't really like communicating that kind of stuff with us, but we only had one sister that lived there. So, I mean, it's not like there was a whole lot of help that could be given to her. Um, but um so the last couple days that he was alive, she did not sleep at all. She went 3 days with zero sleep, you guys. And so we feel like what had happened was her body just basically gave up on her. It had just had enough, and it just but unfortunately, with her new diagnosis and such, uh, she will never be able to go home. You know, assisted living is where she is going to have to be, which she hates, which makes me super sad. And At one point, when I was still in Arizona, I had offered to stay in Arizona for the long haul. Even though, oh, thank you so much. I love these. These are so fun. Um, yeah, and it's not really okay. This sounds really, really bad, you guys. It's not really that she was heartbroken. Yes, she was. I mean, she was, but she was ready for him to go. Um, but he was the love of her life. I mean, but 20 years of watching him basically suffer was long enough. She was kind of just like, I'm done with this. I'm ready for him to stop suffering. I'm ready for it to be the end. So I don't know. I think it was just the lack of sleep. I think she wasn't taking care of herself. But I was really surprised though, with her numbers, her sugar levels so high. I mean, they were 500 when the ambulance got there and 600 by the time the air vac got her to the hospital. Um, so like crazy. And that's why I think in my mind, she would have passed if I would not have found her when I did. Her numbers would have just been so high, she would have passed. So um yeah, it's just crazy. But I think she just overdid it, y'all, and it's just really sad and hard because you never, like I said, you never expect this. Um, we were just lucky and happy because her brain damage in from the seizure, you guys. Okay, so let's say that the stroke in the MRI looked like looked like a pinprick, like almost the size of almost the size of like the end of a sewing needle, you know what I mean? And the prolonged seizure, which unfortunately the damage for that was in her memory cortex, was the size of a worm, y'all. Like, oh my gosh. And so when she actually came out of sedation and she knew, well, and that's just it. Like, I did not know a seizure was such a big deal. Like, my son had seizures when he was a little guy. And they acted like I was crazy every time I would bring him into the ER because he'd had a seizure. They were like, okay, he's fine, you know. But his were oh, thank you so much. My son's was based off of fever. Like the fever would throw his body into shutdown mode, and the seizure was basically the reset of that basically. So that was called a febrile seizure. And but yeah, grand malls are like crazy, and a prolonged, like I'd never heard of a prolonged seizure before my mom had dealt with this. So it's just insane the way our bodies work. And these are turning out so good, y'all. I'm so excited about these. um Thank you, honey, I appreciate that. I think at this point though, it's just a matter of thank you. I think they're awesome too. I think they're going to be really, really cute with the tags hanging from them. Um, I think it's just a matter of like finding her the perfect place now. Now that we know that she's not going to be able to go home, it's just a matter of finding her the perfect place. I made greenhouse junkies. I had made a couple of were they spindle carrots? What kind of carrots were they? No, no, no. They were so you know the thread, the long tall thread bobbins. I have a couple of them right here. Okay. So I had gotten not this long. This one's a really long one, but I had gotten some that were about this tall, and they were missing all their metal pieces, and so I had painted those up and made those up, um, and so I've made some, but these are my first actual spindles. Um, but yeah, you guys, she's in assisted living now and she hates it. She's living with a roommate, and you know, it's hard. It's hard to um live with a stranger, but that's all we could afford at the moment. She's living with a stranger, and she's wants to go home, and she's grieving not only the loss of her husband, but she's grieving the loss of her independence and her what do I want to say? Her brain. Like she knows her brain's not right. She knows, you know, but um I know. And so it's like she can't even grieve in person, like in private. She's, you know, and when I was there with her first week of being in the assisted living place before I came home before Christmas. And you know, of course I didn't spend the night with her, but I would go every morning and spend the day and then go home. Um oh, thank you so much. You know, she's an amazing woman, and to have her in such a state is just throwing me for such a loop. But so I had stayed with her, and it was really interesting because you know everybody in the assisted living is there for a reason, right? And her roommate, bless her heart, but every time my mom would start to cry, she would be like, "What's the matter?" Or she would say, like, my mom would just say, you know, "I'm just really sad. I just lost my husband." And she would say something like, "Yeah, I've lost some friends too. It can be hard." And it's just like, oh my gosh. And my mom was just trying so hard to be right. She was trying so hard to be patient with her, but she was so sad and frustrated and whatever. And so now they're kind of like they get along one day, they don't get along the next day. And my older sister says it's like children trying to get them to do those things. Yes, Vicky. So my mom's she has blood pressure issues and she is on blood pressure medication. And that's actually why she was in ICU for so long, was because they couldn't get her blood pressure to regulate. It would go super high, and then they would give her medication to lower it, and it would drop it too low, and then they gave her medication to bring it back up, and then like it was so crazy. And then when they tried to take her out of sedation, um she would panic. She would wake up and she would panic to the point where she was going to stroke out. And so they'd have to put her back under again really fast. And it was just, it was a lot of back and forth. But her very first stroke, mini stroke that she had had that we know of for sure, she was here at my house, and she doesn't travel well. And we kind of know that. We'd known that for many years. And um, so she tends to be a bit of a ham, y'all. Like you got to kind of take my mama with a grain of salt. Like you're not even sure if she was just trying to get attention or what, right? Like, sorry, that's just the way she is. And so so she was kind of acting like we had been battling her blood pressure, and her doctor had called medication in here to Oregon for her blood pressure. So she was on a new medication for that, and all these things. And so she had been kind of acting a little weird, and we were a little stressed about her blood pressure and how high it was. And oh, you're in Oregon or in Washington. Oh, you're Oregon, Washington. Okay. I'm down in the Rogue Valley, my friend. Down in the Rogue Valley. Um and so anyway, so she's talking to my son, and all of a sudden she starts like her words are not making sense, y'all. Like, and me and my older sister was still here. She was the last of my sisters that was here with me still. For my son's graduation. And my sister and me looked at each other and we were like, I'm gonna go grab my keys. And my sister's like, okay, I'm gonna grab her purse, and just rushed her out the door. And sure enough, she was having a stroke. And so we already knew about that. But when she got to ICU and they took her MRI, and she had never had an MRI before, you guys. Oh my gosh, Vicky, that would be so fun. Yes, I didn't know you were at that one. I love Zeb and Jamie. That's actually where I found out about DIY paint, is off of their channel. And the wax is actually what sold me, not necessarily the paint. I like their paint, but it's the wax. It's all about the wax for me. Um, so yeah, when they did the MRI, um, oh my goodness. It was like over the years, um, she had had at least a dozen mini strokes. And did you guys know? Here's an interesting fact. I'm sharing medical information with y'all. Okay, I'm not a doctor. But did you guys know, if you have a episode and you think you have had a stroke, you need to go have an MRI done within 3 days. 3 days, you guys. And if you don't have that MRI done in 3 days, it will show as a um it will show up as a past. It'll still show up, you know what I'm saying? Like it still shows. The damage is there, you know what I mean? But it shows up differently when it's a brand new one. It's a different color. So they were able to show us, like, here's like the worm in her memory cortex, here's her seizure she just had, and this one is her stroke. And that was really interesting. Now we didn't get to see her second MRI that she had had. Right, yeah. The second stroke that she had had, and the second MRI, we didn't get to see that one. And they had said that when they did the second MRI, um, and they did it because all of a sudden she was not able to move her right side. Um, then they said that the worm in her memory cortex had shrunk, which was great news. Um, but obviously the damage that was done was done. I mean, that's all there is to it. But I was teasing her because I'm a, when there's a bad situation, I tend to make jokes about it. Like, I try to make some kind of positive funny out of it. That's just my way of handling things. And so right, yeah, you got to find some way to make it a positive, y'all. Right? And so I was teasing her, and I said, and I was trying to make, uplift her and make her feel better a little bit, and I said, the interesting thing is that is much damage that was done to your memory cortex. I Our biggest fear was that you were going to wake up and not know who any of us were. And how terrifying would that have been for you? For can you imagine waking up and not knowing anybody around you? Like, I that was my biggest fear for her. And so I I told her, I said, well, and then you woke up and you knew who we were. And I said, I had this whole plan together, this great story of how awesome I was, and I was going to make myself up to be this whole different person. And my mom laughed so hard, and it was so good to hear her giggle. And but I'm just like, what are you going to do? You got to make something funny out of it. um and so, yeah, I mean, we do have blessings in it. She knows who me and all my sisters are. um and she's able to feed herself, she's able to walk, even though she fell and broke her arm the other day. um but she is able to do things, and so I have to really remember to think of the blessings of it. But um it's really hard sometimes, y'all, really hard. Like I said, I had planned out how to handle her passing with my siblings, but I never planned how to handle something like this. And siblings are hard to deal with in general sometimes. And yeah, this is something new. Okay, you guys, look at these little tiny carrots. What do you guys think of this? Oh my gosh. So I had these spindles, and they did have some some characters to it. So I told my son, okay, he's 20, and I said, go out and chop these up. I mean, you guys, I can deal with any kind of power saw. I got them all. And that's actually funny because that's what my family gets me normally for the big holidays, Christmas and stuff, and my birthday, whatever. They'll get me power tools because, my next one I really want is either I want a lathe, or I want oh my gosh, I can picture it in my head, but I can't think of what it's called. Y'all, my brain does not work very well. The ones that you put it through, and it like shaves off all the things and makes them all the same size. Anyways, okay. Anyways, so that's what those are my two new wish list ones. But so I told him, um, right? These are so cute. They're just okay. So I told him to go cut these down for me. Okay, so he did, and they're cute. They're awesome. I said, okay, now I need you to drill a hole in them. And the funny thing is he drilled these for me, y'all. Like he's already done the process and he drills them and I get them and they only have the hole in this side. And I'm like, seriously? So I called him back in and I'm like, what side does the greenery grow out of a carrot? And he's like, oh my gosh, mom, I'm so sorry. So these carrots just get to be special, is all, you know. Oh my gosh. I laugh so hard. I'm like, come on, kid. Oh my gosh. You know what? I am in love, Vicky. My very favorite. Oh, I am not scared at all. I use the chop saw, I use the skill saw, I've used it all. Um I really want a lathe though. Like I could see myself out there with a lathe doing nothing but just making stuff and it's probably all going to look like crap, but you know. Um yeah, I have all of those too, Vicky. The scroll, the miter, the and I use them. I do have some mini ones, but I don't use the mini ones very often. I always thought, "Oh, this will be so cute. I'll just bring it in my craft room and use it." And I really don't, you know. But anyways, um but I tend to oh, I know. The lathe would be so amazing. Oh my gosh. I just want to make all the things, you guys. Um, oh my gosh. Okay, I almost bought a kiln. I almost bought one a couple years ago because I had a brick and mortar and I thought, oh, how fun would this be in here? Um, and so because I was doing craft classes. So my brick and mortar, you guys, it was a um like people brought in stuff for um consignment, okay? And it wasn't like the normal consignment shops you see where people rent booths. What was it called? It was the End of the Rainbow and it was down in downtown Medford, Oregon. Um right on Main Street. And so it wasn't like everybody had a booth because y'all, I've seen some of those. Oh, thank you. Okay, so my name, the End of the Rainbow, you guys. I am making carrots, my friend. Look at these. These are so fun. Look at these. These are little baby ones. Um, my thought was when somebody said, where are you going? To the end of the rainbow. Where did you get that? At the end of the rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Like in my head, that was like the perfect name ever. And so Four Hearts, if you've had a chance to see any of my stuff, um, Four Hearts makes a shamrock, right? And so my business name is based off of my family. And I have four kiddos. They are my Four Hearts. And me and my husband were married on St. Patrick's Day. And so that's just kind of, I'm all about symbolism, y'all, you know. And so that kind of tied into the whole rainbow thing and so I just had fun with it, but anyways, I realized that having my own store was not my thing, y'all. It was like my dream, and then when I actually got it, it very quickly was not my dream anymore. So some of you may understand this. The homeless and mental illness situation in a lot of places is no joke. And I do not know how many times I had to call um, the police to have them come and have somebody leave my store. And one time I actually thought a guy was trying to lock me into my store with him. He was like all cracked out and he went up to my front door of my store and was fiddling with the lock and scared the bejesus out of me, y'all. Like, Oh my gosh. And so after a year, I was like, this is not it. This is not what I want to do. And I thought I was ready to go back out into the working world. Um, it was scary. Like it scared the heck out of me. And it was very soon after that I ended up a friend gave me her taser. So I had a taser behind the counter. I had a the local police department's number like posted behind my cash register, like so that they could see that it was easily accessible for me. Um, and so I just yeah, it just was not my thing, you know. But I remember thinking like as he was fiddling with the lock, I remember thinking like, you dumb lady, you don't even have a baseball bat or nothing. You have nothing for a weapon. Luckily I did have like another door that I could have like gone out a different way to get away, but um I just, I didn't think about that when I thought of my dream of having this store. But, anyways, okay. So, my storefront was the consignment, right? And it wasn't the booths. Everybody brought their stuff in, everybody had a consignment number. And then I took their items and I made little vignettes all over the store. I upcycled furniture right in the store. So, um, if they brought in furniture, of course, I sold their furniture, I sold my furniture. But then half of my store was set up as a craft room, meeting room. And so we held craft classes, and I thought, in my mind, like people could get together and host like um, business gatherings in that area, or things like that, maybe a party. But we never ended up getting that far. But we did host craft classes, we had some sewing classes, we had done some painting classes in there. We did a I did a couple of junk journaling classes, some I did some scrapbooking retreats where people would come for the weekend and come out, and they could leave their stuff at the end of the night and come back the next morning. And so it was really a lot of fun. That part of it I really enjoyed. Um, but it was just like I said, and I thought I was ready to go back out in the working world. And then my daughter went into high school and she started going to the dances, and I felt like I was missing out. And then I'm really glad I did decide to step back though, because now, there we go, guys. There's my carrots. They're so cute. Now she's in cheer, and now she's in competition cheer, you guys, and they just made it to state for their second year in a row, and she is lead cheerleader. Um and she has one more year left, you guys. So next year's her senior year, and of course I don't want to miss a thing in her senior year. I want to be there for all of it, every single bit of it. She's in softball. This is going to be her second year of softball that she's doing. She tried volleyball for a hot minute and decided she didn't really like that. So, and she's my last, you guys. I said to her, I'm not a crier. Like for me, my husband's the crier. When the kids went off to, I will not do a store again. I don't think. I don't think so. You know what? After the store, I did find Whatnot, and this has been the best, most successful journey that I've ever taken, and I really, really enjoy Whatnot. Um, so I'm happy with that, and I think I'm going to just continue down this path. And I'm throwing things everywhere. Okay, so y'all, my next project. Now that I'm done with those carrots, like I said, I was supposed to do an online sell. I was gonna sell minis this morning, you guys, and I just am not feeling it. I'd rather just chat and craft. And I had a mess, y'all. like a huge mess sitting here, because, like I said, I found out the news about my mom and just walked away and sat in bed for a couple days. And so now we're trying to get back to it, y'all. We're trying to get back to it. I'm leaving on Friday for Arizona. And you guys, I'm taking my son with me to Arizona. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for him to go see my mama. And so we were supposed to be going to Minnesota this summer. I have two nieces that are getting married in this summer. And so that was the original plan for the summer. And he had taken vacation to be able to go with me um, to his cousin's weddings. And now all this with my mom, I said, I'm not going to the weddings. They live up in Aiken County, Aiken, Minnesota. My dad was in um, East Bethel, right outside of Minneapolis. So my dad is buried in Minneapolis, and they live up in. Okay, okay. So you know Vix, yeah. So um, so I told my son, I said, I'm not gonna go to the weddings because I'm gonna I'm traveling too much for grandma. And so either you can go to the wedding still and just I won't be able to go with you and that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, I went to Duluth for okay. I went to Duluth when I went to go visit my sister and my dad um in 2018. 2018 is when my dad passed, and I went to go visit and hang out with him and my sister. So um all right, y'all. I'm working on this project kind of. Okay, so I got out some spindles. So these are some older spindles. Okay. And then these are newer spindles. And I had an idea. And based off of something someone said, I might be recreating, but it was just based off of someone like made a comment about someone else's item that they had seen, and it just sparked an idea in my head. Um, and then I have these, you guys. If you're a crafter, you might know exactly what these are. So these are the bottom bases of the little tiny bottle brush trees. I take them off and I save them for moments like this when I don't need them on the other projects. Okay, so I was kind of thinking these could be kind of cute, stacking them up and giving them a little something extra. This one looks really good on there. I do like that. This one could look really cute on this one. Ah, that one's a decent size. That doesn't look weird. That looks weird. Y'all, I ain't gonna do that. Okay. So this one is not gonna get this one. And let's see if I can. This one might be a better one. I think that one has less gunk on it. Okay. And then like this one, it ends up being like the exact same size, which is still kind of weird. So I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna hold that one off and just do these two. But then if I do these new ones, it does set off just a little bit. So that might be cute. So we might be doing those. Um, yes, they are spindles. They're so cute. So, okay. So I might do these. I want to color these for sure. They need some color. And so, y'all, okay, so I've been saying on all of my videos, my craft with me videos, I cannot find a lot of my craft supplies because that's kind of how I roll. I'm a mess. I have a I have a storage unit out on my property, you guys. I have 3 acres up in the woods, and my neighbors probably hate me, but I have a shipping container, um, like one of those metal shipping containers out next to my house. Luckily, it's able to be moved because that is not a good look, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie, but that was our solution when I left my storefront. That was the cheapest um that was the cheapest way to have storage when I left my store. So that right now is what I have. And in my mind, I'm going to get two of them and get another one. And it's going to go higher up on the property. So it's not going to be like right next to my house. And I think I'm going to, I'm just using this as a stain, y'all. Um, and I think I'm going to make like a storage slash workstation, like go put all my power tools and stuff in them. And but my idea is to have them like not necessarily side by side, but together with a gap between them and put a roof over the top. And then I can have like an outdoor space, but it's covered for when I want to work outside on something big, you know what I'm saying? But if you know or Oregon here, um we are rainy and we are smoky and we are hot sometimes in the summer. And so that's my biggest problem right now with making furniture, and that's why I stopped upcycling furniture and left my craft booth. It was easy to do the furniture when I had my brick and mortar because um I would just paint my furniture right there in the store. People would walk in and I'm on the floor painting furniture. But it showed the process and people you know, would engage with, oh, what are you doing? And, whatever. Um, but, um, y'all, it is so hard to upcycle and redo furniture here because it's like the weather's good, the weather's bad, the weather's good, the weather's bad. And so just moving furniture in and out from under cover and is just, yeah. So I'm just like, okay, this is not working for me. So I have decided to step back from that, which is fine because we don't sell furniture here on Whatnot. So but one day I might. um but yeah, and then I was thinking, if you take one of those, um the shipping container, um because it's metal, I can make a little welding booth. Right? Yeah, yeah. I could do a welding booth um in there because my I have two boys that like to weld. I would love to learn how to weld. I think I probably could do it. I just have to buckle down and take the time to try it. Um but they can't weld here at the house because we live in the woods. It's like we're in fire season. Like in Arizona, you always laugh because in Arizona, you're in the hot season like 9 months out of the year. You know what I'm saying? And in Oregon, we're in fire restriction season like 10 months out of the year. Yes, yes. You know what? I'll send you I'll send you a picture of what I'm thinking, my friend, on your message place on Whatnot here. Because I have a Pinterest picture of what I'm thinking, as far as the two shipping containers. Um, but yeah, I think it would be really good. And but it's just a matter of like we have to go. There's a lot of work that has to be done first. We have to level the ground out there. We have to clear some trees, of course, because we have to be able to get the shipping containers in place. So there's a lot to be considered and to do first, but it's an idea. But we've also been toying with the idea, like like I said, my daughter is a senior and or gonna be a senior this next year. She's a junior right now. And so oh, Vicky, you know what? They find all kinds of stuff out in Arizona desert. I'm just saying. There's a lot of desert out there, y'all. Okay. And I'm from Arizona, you guys. Like that's where I was raised. So and it's really funny because there's technically 6 of us with my brother. And my brother's getting ready to leave Arizona. He is getting ready to graduate. Um, a frozen body in the heat. Okay, so um, do you know where, Vic? Where in Arizona? Because everybody thinks of Arizona as being like super hot. Um, but Arizona was actually the coldest place I'd ever lived with the most snow. Okay, so northern Arizona, okay? So northern Arizona gets really cold. Like where I lived before I moved here to Oregon. And I lived up in the White Mountains for 5 years. And best place I ever lived, y'all. Not even kidding. No air conditioner. The monsoon when it would get like it would get to like 90, I think, and the monsoon storm would roll in and it would drop it down to the low 80s, maybe um at the highest, and then it would go into like the 70s. Oh my gosh, it was perfect. So we didn't have a air conditioner there. And but we were at the 7,000 feet level where we were. And yeah, we moved in January. I think it was like New Year's weekend. We moved up there. And it is kind of still considered the desert. I mean, it's not like cactus by any means. But um you know what? We do have like you'll see pictures of like saguaro cactus with oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But they you'll see pictures of saguaro cactus with snow on it. And that's a real thing. Those aren't AI or anything. That really does happen. It's not very common. It doesn't happen very often. Um, one of my favorite, when I go home, and it's funny because I don't care for Arizona. It was not, like I said, Northern Arizona was the best place I had ever lived. My favorite place for the people and the weather. Um, but Arizona is not my favorite place, but it is where I consider home. Like, and there's a mountain range right outside of Mesa, Arizona, which is where I was actually raised. And it's the Superstition Mountains. And like when I see those mountains, it's like, okay, that's home to me. You know what I mean? Like that's the symbol of home. And so when I had when you see the snow on the Superstition Mountains, it's not common, but it does happen, and it is kind of a interesting scenario. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't see it very often, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I think when I was a little girl, I saw it snow flurries falling in Mesa, Arizona once when I was a little girl, and I remember being so excited that it was snowing. And then I moved up to the snow. So when I moved up to the White Mountains, we moved in and there was a foot and a half of snow on the ground. And Jeff's first day of work up there, it was negative 19. So people don't think of snow and cold when they think of Arizona. That's for sure. So, okay, you guys. So, my project. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm actually going to take this well, maybe I'm not. I think maybe I'll keep this on there. I think I'm going to keep this on there. Okay, I'm going to keep this on there. I've decided, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to though I'm going to I'm going to just put a tiny bit of glue right here just to kind of keep that thread in place. I don't want that thread like unspooling on somebody. Okay. So I'm going to do that. And I think I'm going to do the same thing on this one. This is really thick thread. It's kind of crazy. Um, if I don't drop it first, y'all. Oy. Okay. Okay. Here we go. We can do this. Fingers work. Okay. And then this one. Yeah, this is really thick. I like this. this color here. I like that. So I think I'm going to play off of that on my project. Okay. So you go down there, you just stay, and you come over here and you just stay. Here we go. All right, y'all, we got it. And then I'm not using this one because, like I said, it's not the right color for or the right size for what I'm working on. So I know. Well, and yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so here's what I want to use. Y'all, I have so much ribbon and twine and stuff. I could literally do a like a ribbon store. Anybody else feel that way? It's like whenever I find lace, ribbon, twine, something, I'm picking it up, and God forbid, it goes on sale at Hobby Lobby, y'all. Like I walk up to the counter and I've got so much. They're like, really? Anyways, okay. All right, so here's what I'm thinking on this one. Let's start with this one. And oh, I oh, really at Walmart? Oh my goodness. Okay. So, I'm going to stick with the brown on there. And I really like this older lace here. I've got a whole like bundle of it that I bought. I mean, I don't know. Did I buy it? I probably bought it because it's $1.29 at Goodwill. And let's say it was even like the right color of the week. And here and I did realize once I left or started traveling more that did y'all know that Goodwills everywhere do things differently? Did you guys know that? I did not realize that until I started traveling. And so my Goodwill does a color of the week, and based off of the color of the week, that's the color that you get 50% off that week. But I did go to other locations as I've been traveling, and some of them don't do a color of the week. Some of them do um what do they do? Like they do like all of housewares will go on sale, or you know what I mean? Like they have different parameters, and I did not realize that was even a thing, y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna put this around here, like so, and fancy it up a smidge here. Okay, and then I'm gonna glue that sucker down. Just give it. I want to do like the tiniest bit of glue, just enough to really get it, because you're gonna see that through. Oh, really? See, Vicky is saying that hers only does 50% off of clothes and linens. Now, here's something interesting. There is a town, at it's a coastal town here in Oregon. And whenever I would go there, theirs was different than mine. And because it's a different, like main hub, I guess, or region or whatever. I don't know. And they were doing they had a 50% off color of the week, and then they also had a 75% off color of the week. And I was like, oh, and I had thought maybe it was because they were the coastal town and they did not have they didn't have a Ben's close to them. Now I have a Ben's, like a Goodwill outlet here, and I've been talking to some people who say they don't have them in their area. And when I went to Arizona, they didn't have in Arizona either, y'all. Like I was like, Arizona, really? Like really? So, um, okay, I don't want to use this one on that because it's too big. It's too big, y'all. It covers up the whole twine situation, and I don't like that. Okay, so we're gonna go into our stash and see what else we have, because of course we have stuff. Of course we have stuff. Okay, so So anyways, yeah. So mine actually just started doing, oh, there we go. Look at that, y'all. Isn't that cute? They just started doing the oh lordy, the 50% off and then the 75% off color. And we still have the bins. So okay, I don't know. Now that's still that's too matchy matchy, y'all, right? I mean, not enough contrast. I like this other one. Okay, we'll go with that. Okay, so we're gonna do this one on there. Okay, so I'm just gonna go right where I like tack that down and add just a smidge here. I think I might come on, you guys, either later today or tonight and do a vintage decor show. I'm starting to feel like this has been so helpful. I'm starting to feel quite a bit better. Um, I really need to get my butt in gear, you know what I mean? Crafting is so therapeutic, y'all. So therapeutic. Helps you so much when you're just not up for it, you know what I mean? Yes. And you guys, the other day I was planning to do a show and my husband, we moved rooms around this summer and my husband's had some of his stuff in the room that we moved my son into. And so he was been trying to get this big huge cabinet into um his new man cave. And so this weekend they're finally getting it. They decided to take a door frame off to get it to fit through the door frame. And they went around the corner and they couldn't round a corner to get it into the room. And it there's a closet in the hallway that we were planning to take apart anyways or take down anyways. And so my husband's like, I hope it's okay with you, but we're just gonna rip this down now so I can get this in there. And I'm like, that's it's fine. It's fine. Okay. So yeah, I had to cancel my show or move my show because construction was going on. Okay, so I'm not really like this color is not really doing it for me, but for right now, I'm not really gonna stress too much about it because I don't really want to cover it all up. I like to leave the old character, but I like the brown on there. And what I'm thinking I want to do with this one is Iron Orchid Designs had this little Christmas mold. And y'all, I discovered I am not good with resin. Um now clay is always fun to work with, but clay does not dry very fast and it can crack and do all the things, y'all. So I like the resin, but I'm not really good at pouring the resin, and especially on these teeny tiny little things. But I had these left over and I'm kind of thinking I like the idea of putting this guy right there. What do you guys think of that? How cute is he? But I think I want to paint him first. So I'll probably paint him. And right, isn't that cute? I'm probably going to paint him and then put him on there. And then maybe it just needs like a tree greenery situation going on. That's kind of where I'm thinking in my head. And then this is going to go on one of these little stands just to give it a little something extra. So, that's my thought process with that one. So, I'm going to set that one aside. This one, gosh, you guys, I love it and I don't want to cover up either side, but I think it needs to be a little something. So, you guys, give me your opinion, okay? Are you ready? Do we do this side? We're gonna say this is number one. Yeah, I know, Vic, and but it's just a matter of like getting them in the mold where they don't overflow, and then I can't get the edges off, or this side. So this side's number two. This side is number one. Which one should I show the most? We're gonna go patriotic. What do you think? Number one or number two? Patriotic. What are you thinking? The lighter color, number two. This one for patriotic. Okay. So From that same mold. Vix, do you sell, okay, everybody's saying number two, this one here. Okay, do you sell the I know you sell DIY, don't you, Vix? Do you also sell, okay, you do. Okay, do you have a website? So Vix picks and flips, y'all. She does the DIY paint. She sells it. Do you also do the IOD, Iron Orchid Designs? So you guys, this is from that same Iron Orchid Designs mold, the little one that was for the I think it's a snow globe one. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna put that star. I might paint it. I think I want to paint it like a gold. That's what I'm thinking is a gold star. You do? Okay. So she also does Iron Orchid Designs, y'all. So there we go. And oh, not yet, but you will. Okay. So you sell JRV and Roy Cycled. Okay. What's your website, Bix? So I think a gold star right there is what I'm gonna do. And then I'm going to put it on this to make it more substantial. Okay. And then you guys, my thought is this little flag here that I stained earlier. Okay. Right, y'all? Like, how amazing is that? So good. Okay. So that's my vision, y'all. That's my vision on that one. I probably will not have this in my very next fourth show. Um, but which is already pretty much loaded, you guys. I think I have one more item to load in that one, and it'll be the 4th of this month. Um, that's going to be happening. Okay, so it's VixPicksAndFlips.com, y'all. Picks, VixPicksAndFlips.com. Okay, Vix, I'll have to go on there and look. Okay, so anyways, so this is probably going to be in April 4th. I do not have 3 stars, but I could possibly, but I think I want to do gold on there. But I don't know. We'll see what I do. Because I think 3 would stretch too far. Um, but that is a good idea. Um, but so this will probably be April 4th. You'll find because guys, so when I was in rehab with my mom, okay, when she was in rehab, while she was taking naps, I was busy just kind of like um fiddling and doing whatever, trying to find something to do to occupy myself. And so I looked up, you guys, like the special days of the year, you know what I mean? So like National Pizza Day, and so um this fourth, on the 4th of this month, is National Toy Soldier Day, y'all. And I have a toy soldier that I'm getting ready to load into that show. And then on the next 4th is, I think it's like National Handmade Day or something like that. So all of my patriotic handmade items will be going in that show. So I probably will put this one over here that I just did. Okay, y'all, I'm just like looking around. I want to put something on these um before I add anything to them. Let me show you what I have. So I'm sticking with the idea, and I probably will just go make some more of these, but I'm sticking with the idea of these little minis that were in that little um right? I think so too. The toy soldiers are darling. I don't have that one, um but maybe I'll get something. Anyways, okay. So I have a little squirrel. This guy is so cute. So he can go on the front of one of these, right? But he's more I don't know, do you think of squirrels and think of like all times of the year, or do you think of squirrels and you think of fall? I live in the woods, and squirrels are kind of like all the time for me, but I think they're kind of more fallish. And then though, y'all, look at this. It's a little bunny, y'all. Look at that. It's a little bunny. So I'm thinking this needs a little bunny right in the front. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna just do up a little bunny. Um, let's do at least that one together. And then, but I'm kind of looking at my ribbon and trying to figure out like what do I want to use because I have a lot of options, but I have options that are um kind of scattered and I could paint this bunny any color I want. So I have this like peachy shimmery fabric, but that's more sheer. Um we have really bright pink gingham. Let's see. We have a mess. That's what we have. Okay, we have this pink. It's like a baby pale pink color. Okay. Hmm. We have we have green. We have bright pink. We have we have orange. We have another like mauve peachy color. Let's see. No, that's green. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. We've got yellow. I've got another like a green. Okay. There's so many options in the fabric world, and we could do fabric. Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I want to do fabric, y'all. See, that's the problem is we get so many fun ideas, and then it's like, well, now what do we do, right? Now what do we do? Let's see. Oh, I like that color too. Look at that one. That one's a good color. Boy, y'all. Oh, I've got another lacy. The red ribbon arrived? What red ribbon, my friend? What are we talking about? I have so much like ribbon and lace and like I said, I just collect. I have a whole tote full, a whole tote full of ribbons and lace um and I don't even think that's the end of it. I think I still have more somewhere else. Oh, yes. Okay. I also have like some fabric fat quarters I could use. Um, that one's kind of cute. That could be cute with the bunny on it. Um, hmm. I also have that one. That one could be really cute for patriotic because it's not like in your face patriotic, but I like the blue on it. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do. I got it, y'all. It's coming together. Right? Oh my gosh. So I find that when I do these craft with me's, I end up being on way too long for YouTube because I am streaming on YouTube as well. Um that it's like they're super long videos because I when I start crafting, I just have a million ideas. I bring over all the different um parts and pieces and all the things. And so I end up with like a super long video and it's chaotic. Okay, here we go. This is what I'm gonna do, y'all. Okay, so I have this fabric. I think I like thrifted this. This is probably, yeah, definitely. Um, from like the Goodwill bins is probably where I found this. So, um, okay, apparently it was already coming apart. So buttons, yes. Okay, so Vix, uh, you say that, and I brought these over. I have all these buttons from from when I was crafting in Arizona, you guys. I was in my mom's I don't need that much. I was in my mom's hospital room and I had a train coming up and so I went down to the thrift store and I got or not the thrift store, the craft store, and I got all kinds of oh yeah, I got all kinds of craft supplies and I was in my mom's um hospital room doing crafting and all the nurses were so like interested in what I was doing. It was a lot of fun to kind of communicate with them and share with them what I was working on and why and that kind of stuff. And um, I was making Christmas ornaments, and so the nurses that were good because we had some really awesome nurses, and then we had some nurses that I wanted to strangle. Um, it's really hard for me to not mama bear the situation, y'all. I think some of you probably can understand that. It's like I want to I want to mama bear my mom. You know what I mean? Like I want to make sure she gets everything that she needs and I don't want people messing up. And when my mom was in, oh my gosh, this doesn't have hold on, please hold. Um when we were in the after ICU, we went into the regular section of the hospital for a couple days, about 2 weeks, a week and a half, something like that. And my mom had a what they called a mini heart attack when we were in there. And um we did go see a cardiologist actually this last trip that I was on there. And the cardiologist said that he thinks what had happened was basically her body had just been through so much trauma that her heart was just basically unhappy. But he didn't think that she had a blockage or anything, which is like, oh good, one less thing we have to like stress and worry about right now. But um I'm just letting this dry, you guys. But I literally had a nurse tell me that when my mom was having this issue with her heart, she was like, I'm so glad it's a heart issue because um I don't know anything about something else. And I was like, seriously? Like, how is this a good thing? This is not a good thing, lady. Like, who says that? And so yeah, super irritated by that. But okay, while I'm letting that dry, I'm gonna make a little tiny bow. So um I'm just kind of making a loop with my twine. I just have some off-white twine here. And then I'm just going to take it and just kind of wrap it around my fingers a couple of times. And then I take it and I just kind of pinch it right in the middle. Put it in the middle of my loop. Tighten that down. And now we have a loop. And then what I like to do on my bows is just take a little bit of hot glue and just kind of close that off. And then that way, when I cut the strings off, I don't have it coming undone. That way I don't have to double knot it and have all that extra bulk back there. So here we go. Let's just cut that off. Okay. And now we have ourselves a little tiny bow. So what are y'all doing today? I saw someone was running errands. What all you guys doing? If you guys are a seller here on Whatnot, feel free to drop your emoji down. I know Little Miss, you're working. Where do you work, Vic? Or are you working at home on some kind of project? Just gonna put a little bit of glue there. I just do Whatnot for work. Like I said, I was a stay-at-home mom. Then I had the storefront. Then I decided to come back home and do the. You're working too. You guys got 9 to 5s. I haven't had. I mean, outside of my. Oh my gosh, everybody's working. Hey, at least I give you some kind of entertainment at work. Oh, okay. All right, Vex. So you're working from home. That's a fun gig. So I just frayed the edges on this. Ooh, that's a little too frayed, y'all. I don't like that. Hold on. At least I'm giving you guys something to do and watch. Hopefully I'm entertaining somewhat. Um, it's like, you know what? I used to you're assembling hats. Oh my gosh, yeah. You know what? I was watching your hats, my friend, and I was like, I could probably sit there and design and put together parts and pieces of hats left and right, you guys. Um, oh yes, I will definitely be doing that. You guys, so my mom's best friend's on here. There's Miss Treese. She's on here. Um, and she, you guys, she was my babysitter when I was a young girl, and she's like my second mom. And she babysat my boys for a little while when I was doing the 9 to 5, and then I had my third son, and it was not cost effective to work and pay for anyone to watch the kids. So um anyways, yes. And so I'm going to Arizona this on Friday, and I'm bringing my oldest son. And I think I was telling that story, and I got a squirrel moment going on, but which happens to me a lot. Um, so I'm bringing my oldest son so that he can go see my mom, and he was planning on going to his cousin's wedding. And now that I'm not going to the wedding, I told him he had to kind of like decide if he was going to go or not, because now that I'm not going, I will not be like sharing a rental car with him, sharing the cost of that and, whatever. Or he could go with me, change his vacation and go with me on one of these trips to go see my mom. And he was so cute. He said, you know, I was thinking about it and I think it would be best if I go. What do you guys think of that? Is that good or is that too much? What do y'all think? Is that good or too much? Maybe that's too much. I thought it was going to be good, and then I'm like looking at it, too much. All right, y'all, I decided. Um so anyway, so um he was very cute. He said yeah, too busy. Uh that he wants to go to Arizona to go see my mom while she still remembers him. He's so cute, you guys. So my son is yeah, he's 26, and he is autistic, but he is high functioning. And his only real experience with dementia is like dementia for old people that and so he saw my husband's aunt, and she went downhill very fast. And so I tried to tell him that it's not that grandma's not going to remember him. I mean, eventually that might happen, but as of right now, it's just a matter of um her brain is just not going to get better. as of right now. But yeah, so he was like, I want to go while grandma still remembers me. And I'm like, okay, that's a solid reason to go. Okay, I'm kind of thinking, well, that's too bulky though. But I was kind of thinking that was super cute with the little bunny and that, if I can get it in screen. But I don't know. Is that too bulky? I feel like that's too bulky, y'all. So back to the drawing board. I don't know. Maybe I'll put something here and just put this as a bow on top. There, that's what we'll do. Okay. So we'll put something here. We'll put something there. We'll put this little bow on top. And then we'll have the flower. Or the not the flower. Goodness, the bunny right there. What do y'all think? How cute is that? I love it. That's gonna be it. Yeah, that's it. I think I might paint this bunny. I'm thinking I'm gonna paint him pink. I think it needs to be a pink bunny. I think so. I think that's what I'm gonna do. He's gonna be a pink bunny. And then it'll have some like flowers or greenery, maybe purple. Maybe purple. Um, oh my goodness, honey. Yes, it's really hard. It's hard having them not at home and now we're kind of at the point where we know um there's no pink bunnies. Well, in our world, Vic, we can make them any color we want. That's there's no rules on aisle 4. Um but now we have to figure out how to go about getting her house ready to go on the market, y'all. Anybody know anybody needs a house in Arizona? That's actually really like our next, besides finding her a new, because where she's at now, it's okay, but I don't think it's like the place where we want her to be for forever. I think we really would like to have her go to like an assisted living place that's like her own little apartment and she doesn't have to share it with another roommate and stuff. So I think that's our next real step for her, is figuring out like where her next place is going to be. Um, but um, but yeah, now to go through all of her stuff, and I think it's overwhelming to her even to think about how to do that. We've kind of gotten to that point where she doesn't really know what she wants to do or how she's going to go through everything. So, okay, so this one's going to get a bunny. I'm pretty sure that, or a squirrel. Okay, you guys never answered me. Is a squirrel only a fall piece, or can it be year round, spring, those kinds of things? Let me know. What do you think? What do you guys think about that? Year round? Okay. All right. All right. So you guys, as I was saying, I was in Arizona in the hospital room, and I was making stuff. Um, you would use fall fabric? Yeah. See, that's what I'm kind of like. Oh, I don't know. See, because I live in the woods, and I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh. You know what would be really cute is to put like a little walnut on top, and okay. Um, I don't know. I have time to think. Okay. So I have all these buttons because I made a button, an acorn, yeah. I made a button some button trees, Christmas trees, when I was in Arizona in the hotel, or in the keep saying hotel, was my mom's hotel, in the hospital room. And so I have all of these buttons left over. Um so we could do something with these buttons on the front of one of these. Ooh, look at that blingy one. I like the blingy. Um, but I don't want it to be like way overpowering either. Ooh, that one's pretty too. So we've got those options. And then I also brought out these, and I think these are fun. Um, these are really good with oy, either fabric or um this vintage lace that I have. You could let's get it in here. Get in there. You could roll it up on there, get a good amount, and y'all, it's like sticking. Doesn't want to let go. Let go. There we go. And then we could do, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Could do more plain and just a regular old. I have these, you guys. Look at. So these came in like the button section, and it had one part that you're supposed to hook in here, and then another part. So it's like it was like a 2 for 1. I love that. Oh, that's cute. Wouldn't that be cute? Look at it. Look at this idea. Of course, I'm upside down for y'all. Okay, let me turn my situation around. Okay, look at how cute this would be though. You put that on there, right? And then you could put something like a bow. Ta-da! What do you think? That's really cute, huh? Kind of love that idea. Right? Okay. That might be it. That might be the winner. That might be the winner. I think I'm going to just cut this lace and just kind of know that that's what I want to do. That's an idea. There's my. Okay. And then we could also get some more of this fabric here, and but I ripped the shorter side, and I think for like this I would want to rip the longer side, um so that I have enough to you know what, Vix, Little Miss Crafty is she's thinking about doing a mini vignette show, like a train. And I'm like, oh, that's such a fun idea. And then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, do I even have any like real supplies to do a mini vignette show? I don't know. And then I'm like, of course I do. I just have to go through my stash, y'all. Like, I just have to buckle down and look through what I have. And I'm one of those, I'm really bad about if I can't find it like right away, um, I get frustrated, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna go buy something. I'm just gonna go buy it. And then I buy new. And then but like look, I have like all these little tiny little baskets that could be painted up, and you do something in that. I mean, oh my gosh, there's just so many ideas out there. Hello, Karen. How are you? So this is kind of the same idea. You rip your fabric, and then you just go around. Let me get rid of this twine string here. And then you just go around and oh my gosh. You guys, are you guys like local to each other and you get together cuz I'm jealous. I know at one point me and Little Miss Crafty had um talked about doing kind of like a meetup, and and just getting together and spending the weekend like a girls um oh my goodness sakes. Yes, like meet up, go thrifting, and that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I want to do that 127 yard sale thing so bad. And did you guys know? Here's a little tidbit of information. Little Miss Crafty's, I don't think she's even on here anymore. She was on for a hot second and then she moved on. But um she's got a life. I can't make her stay with me all the time, y'all. Um But if you guys are not following Little Miss Crafty, you need to do that because she's awesome. Oh, look at that one. That one's kind of fun. Okay, so we got like a little bling. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't fit the fabric. We've got kind of this one. It's a little more subdued on there. So that could be fun. Anyways, Little Miss Crafty, y'all. She has a retreat house, you guys. She has a retreat house. She's in Kentucky and she has a house that people rent out and they get together in big groups and do like crafting weekends and all the things. I am like, oh my gosh, that's like a dream, right? Wouldn't that be so fun? I don't know. It's a dream, but then I also think like, do I really want to deal with other people? Let's be honest here, you know. Is that something I would really want to do? Because um right? Exactly, exactly. Yeah, she's right in Louisville and I think that would be so fun. Okay, so I have that muslin fabric um that I tea stained before or coffee grunged before, and I kind of love that. So I think I might do that for one of these, and got a swatch of that off. I love fabric that you can just rip and do, you guys. So um so you guys, this time when I go to Arizona, last time I went, I took my mom to the zoo. Um which was quite fun, but at the same time it was a little much for me and her. Um and so this time, I don't know, I was kind of thinking we're going to go. My sister who works or who lives there, she's a teacher and she's on boy, let go. She's going to be on spring break. So me and her are going to probably take my mom and my son up north. It's like 2 hours up north, and go see my grandma. And my grandma hasn't seen my mom, and my mom hasn't seen my grandma since my stepdad's passing. My grandma came when my mom was in ICU, but it's my stepdad's mom is my grandma. But they haven't seen each other. And my mom, of course, when she was in ICU, she was sedated. And so she didn't know my grandma was there. So I think that'll be really good for both of them and to see each other. And so we're going to do that. I asked my mom last time I was there if that was something she would like to do. And she got very excited about that idea and actually she wanted to leave that day. She was like, can we go? And I'm like, no, we kind of need to make plans and all of that. But, y'all, what was I going to do with this? I forgot already. Oh yeah, I was going to put the thing on top and okay. Oh my lord, y'all. I get so distractible. It's a thing. Does anybody else feel like that? Let's see if this will stain, you guys. It's kind of got like a sheen to it though. It feels really slick. Hmm. Trying to see if I have any sandpaper around here. A cabin in the city? What are we talking about? Are we talking about meeting up, you guys? Like once I do love to travel. I do love to travel. I actually went, you guys. I took a cross country road trip by myself a couple years ago. I went from Florida and drove in a caravan, spent the night, or I was sleeping in the caravan, or in the cargo van. Sorry, not caravan, cargo van. I was sleeping in the cargo van, and I drove from Florida down the Gulf states to Arizona, spent a couple of days in Arizona, and then went to California and up to Oregon and shopped the whole way, y'all. But to be honest, my favorite part of the whole trip was the Florida beaches because I'm a beach goer and I'd never seen seashells like that, y'all. If you've never been to the Gulf Coast in Florida, oh my gosh. So, anyway, so I did that trip by myself, and my son, who is he's my 20-year-old right now. He was so he wanted to go with me so bad. And I was like, you can't because hello, my friends. Um, he couldn't go with me because he was still in high school. And so I told him if he graduated high school that we would go do a road trip. You guys, I just sanded this a little bit because um it felt really slick. So I didn't think this coffee grunge would, even though it's got like a sticky component to it because you um it's got the vanilla in there. It's cinnamon, instant coffee, cinnamon, um, and then it's got vanilla. Yeah. So I got the recipe from Tracy at Our Sweet Home Living. She is on YouTube. She's also in Facebook, but her recipe is on her Facebook page. My Sweet Home Living, Tracy. Um, anyway, so this time, so he graduated high school. Oh, really? Yes, it is. It is something that Vix, it took me a long time to get his diagnosis. It was very frustrating as a mama to know that there's something going on with your kiddo, and trying to get them help was very frustrating. But yes, he's an awesome kid. And so I'm excited for him to go. He's but he sometimes doesn't understand things fully, and so like he doesn't understand what my mom's going through, so it'll be good for him to um oh, okay, okay. Well, um when he was like 13, he started doing things like um like I can read. I think when look back and I think about my childhood, I think 13 is probably close to um when I can actually start remembering like how I felt and what I did, and you know what I mean? Because otherwise it was like little bits of childhood memories. But I think 13 was when I was really like able to remember things. And I just was like looking at him and I was like, I don't know, like he's just not, he doesn't seem like a 13-year-old to me. And I'd asked my husband, I'm like, is this a boy thing or like what's the deal? And my husband was like, no, honey, no. And so we went to the school and asked the school for help. I mean, at that point he was already on an IEP for like a learning disability and an ADHD. We'd already had that diagnosed for him. And so I went to the school and I was like, something's off, something doesn't feel right. And I was literally told by the school administrator that he's my oldest and I don't know what a 13-year-old's supposed to look like. And so he's just fine. And so I was like, okay, obviously the school's not going to help me. So I went the medical route and had them looking at him um, in the medical field, and took him to a specialist at Phoenix Children's Hospital. And they're actually the ones that diagnosed him with autism. And so I got the diagnosis finally, and he was 15. Um, you know what? It's very interesting, Vix, because so he was 15 when he finally got that diagnosis, and they um when I took the diagnosis back to the school, I was like, okay, here's his new diagnosis. Now you have to help him. You know what I mean? Like, enough is enough. I'm tired of playing these games with you guys. And the special ed director looked at me and she was like, are you sure this is the right diagnosis? And at that point, I was like, okay, I've had enough of this. So we actually left Arizona because of the schooling system, because I felt like my son needed more help than he was able to get there. Um, and I don't feel like he would have graduated high school had we stayed. And, not to say that Oregon's schools are like top of the line by any means, but he did graduate high school. You know what I mean? But when we moved to Oregon, um, y'all, I'm open about okay. I'm open about my situation, and everybody's experiences are different. But I have two autistic sons. I have both spectrums. I have um my oldest technically has five diagnoses. And He actually was um, diagnosed through the US government and put on disability. Um, and Even because when you go to get them on disability through the government, they make you go see their doctors. They will not take your doctor's diagnosis. They have to have it be their doctor, which is fine. And So their US doctors found that right, well, yeah, and that's Vix, they don't diagnose them as soon. You know what I mean? And it depends on what their symptoms are, because girls, even with ADHD, they don't display the symptoms as quickly. My middle son, so my son that's just under, because I have four kiddos, three boys and one girl. My son that is the next one down, my second son, he is brilliant. He is so incredibly smart, and he's very quiet. Um, so it's the quiet ones that kind of go undetected. You know what I'm saying? But when he was 11, he started. Not really being his quiet little self. He started right, yeah, bingo, yeah. He started having actually like panic attacks, and just really freaking out and hollering at people and getting really frustrated really easy, and having meltdowns and stuff. And I went from my little tiny um put himself to bed when he was tired kind of guy to this kid that was just freaking out. And it took me a whole solid year to finally get him some help. And he ended up being diagnosed with a anxiety and depression disorder. And so when we moved here to Oregon, um, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but when you move from one state to another, you have to have all of your diagnosis and your kiddos reevaluated. And so all the IEPs had to be reevaluated, all of their medical had to be reevaluated. And So when my second son, was reevaluated, in Oregon, they diagnosed him as ADHD, which is interesting because they no longer break down ADD versus ADHD. And the only difference really is the hyperactivity, right? So a lot of kids who don't have that hyperactivity, which is what you think of when you think of ADHD. You think of a kid that's just like bouncing off the walls and driving you crazy. And that just wasn't him. It was one of those that they're so quiet that nobody even realizes they're struggling. Does that make sense? And so he was undetected for a long time. And now as he's older, um, I'm spanning this off, guys, trying to get it to dry up a little bit faster. Now that he's older, he struggles more with his ADHD than he does his depression and anxiety. Um, so um but yeah, they go undetected so easy, and then when you do know that something's going on with them, you get a lot of people who are doubters, like they don't see what you see, I guess. So it's an interesting thing, but yeah, I have out of my four kiddos, I have two um that are autistic, and both of them are high functioning, which is amazing. And then I have all four of my kiddos are ADHD. I'm pretty sure I know for a fact. Um, well, I self-diagnosed myself, you guys, and to be honest, because it is so hereditary, um, I went into my doctor and said, I'm pretty sure I'm ADHD, and I'm struggling. Is there any way I could get some medication to help me with this? And my doctor was like, "Okay, describe your symptoms." I described them to him, and he was like, "Yep," and he wrote me a prescription. I self-diagnosed myself, y'all. Like it can happen, and it makes a huge world of difference being on medication. Um, for myself, anyways. I don't say it's for everybody, but for myself, I have found success with that, and so um, but with my son, um, you know, we kind of had a rough time getting those diagnoses done, and I think a lot of parents go through that, and I think it sucks that um you know it has to be such a struggle, which is just terrible because all we want is what's best for our kiddos. So okay, this is not completely dry, but I think I'm just going to go for it anyways and just kind of tack it down. I wonder if the glue is going to stick though. Probably not. Okay, maybe I'll just leave it like that and let it finish drying like that. And then look at how cute these are much better with the coffee grunge on them. I think that's much better than y'all. I am okay, so I'm fanning it with this design transfer here, the screen print transfer, and a I just put up a show, and that you guys can go bookmark if you would like. In let me see which one I like better. Um, in November, I'm no November. Oh my gosh, y'all! I can't even think right now. My brain's not working. I can't think and do this at the same time. Anyways, in April, March, at the end of March, y'all. Gosh, words. At the end of March, when my son or my husband and my daughter are in Europe, I'm going to have show after show after show. And one of the shows I want to do is going to be a de-stash, and um, I'm going to be de-stashing my Chalk Couture screen print transfers, you guys. And I don't know if you guys know about Chalk Couture and that kind of stuff, but I was a designer with them for 5 years or so, and they make all kinds of designs that you can use on different things. And I'm gonna do a video and show how to use them before I do that de-stash. But um, anyways, um, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna destash, you guys. I'm excited. So bookmark that. And I'm gonna be offering it at a really good price because I really would like to share it with everybody. And I would like to move it on because I have such an abundance. Because I was doing, like, um, right, yeah, right. I need to pour that all the time, my friend. um, that's part of my um when I self-diagnosed myself with ADHD, it's because even though I have a million ideas, oh, the stencil. Yes, I have that one. I don't know if I have it for sale though, Vicky. Um, hmm. I'll have to look. Remind me. Remind me. I'll have to look. I do have that one and I can make something with it. Um, but I don't know if I have it for sale as an extra, but I can check. I can check. Um, but when I diagnosed myself with ADHD, it was because I would do these big craft fairs and craft shows, and the season would isn't that cute? So simple, but so cute, y'all. Craft season would come up, and even though I know I have a huge amount of things I need to do, I would very easily get um, not necessarily distracted, but I would have a hard time motivating myself to get it all done. Um, and So I just basically self-diagnosed myself and said I need help. And my doctor was like, okay. And he put me on medication. And what a difference. What a difference. Um, it helps with motivation. It helps. Did you guys know? Here's a little tidbit of information. Did you guys know that if someone is ADHD and they are not diagnosed and they are not getting treatment, it can lead to severe depression and anxiety because their brain is not getting the help and treatment that it needs, and they feel like it automatically makes them feel like they're not normal, which I didn't necessarily feel like I wasn't normal, but it is difficult to function. So, which, affects life. So, I think I kind of like this color with this, y'all. What do you guys think? Give me your opinion. Yeah? Okay. All right. I love it. I love it. I think that's a good color. What is that supposed to mean? Bix? What is that? Hello, welcome in. We're just chatting and crafting, my friend. Oh, you do. I was like, what? Oh my gosh. I feel like my phone auto corrects me all the time. And oh, wait, go the other direction. It auto corrects me and I get so frustrated. Um, and a lot of times like it'll auto correct me and then I won't look at oh, yeah. I won't look at what it's saying before I push the go button. And then I look back and I'm like, oh, duh, that doesn't read right. So I have, I have that happen to me all the time. Um, and a lot of the times, you guys, if you ever see me like responding or whatever, a lot of the times it's like a talk to text. And yeah, sometimes it makes zero sense and it's so funny. Um, so I don't know. We do our best, but sometimes we're silly. Um, all right. This is I'm feeling good about this, you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me and chatting. And this is what I needed today. This is what I needed. And I also needed to make a hat. You guys, again, I don't think she's still on here, but if you guys are not following um Old Made New Creations, oh my goodness, we made the cutest hats today. Like she did a hat bar almost, and we each got to, oh, you know what? Um, yes, for a show. It was so fun. It was kind of like she had these hats, like blank hats, and so if you won, it's kind of like a build your own vignette. And if you won, you got to you got to pick your hat. So you kind of wanted to win because you wanted that surface, you know what I mean? That hat. And because she only had certain numbers of certain colors. And so then once you picked your hat, then you got to oh, I think I have a um no, I don't want to use that one. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to pick a paintbrush. Um After you picked your hat, then you got to pick either like a granny square, or she had doilies. She had what else did she have that she had sewn up some quilt blocks, like little quilt blocks, and then um you built it onto your hat base, and then she's going to stitch it all on and then ship it out. Oh my gosh, so cute. So, yeah, we did that today. And that's how my morning started. I wanted to see her show. And so I'm going to paint this bunny pink, y'all. I'm using DIY's petticoat pink. And so if you guys need this, Vicks, Picks, and Flips.com is where you can get it. So anyways, I set my alarm because I wanted to see her show, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun to see what other people picked. And to be honest, I kind of waited. I'm cheap. Not pink. I promise it won't stay like super pink, honey, but I felt like it needed to be pink on I almost did purple though. But yeah, I'm gonna do this bunny pink. Um But I'm cheap, so I kind of waited until nobody else was bidding, and then I pushed the bid button because that's, sorry y'all. But um totally worth it though. I ended up buying two hats from her, but somebody else picked the granny square and the hat combo I would have picked. So, oh my gosh, how funny. Yeah, I love bunnies, you guys. Bunnies used to be my favorite animal when I was a little girl. And then we did have not too long ago, we had a bunny that we actually owned a bunny. And I know that you have bunnies, little floppy-eared fun things, right, Vix? Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We had a Flemish giant, you guys. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with those. But um we had a Flemish giant. We had these little bunnies that um Amberly saved a baby bunny from one of our, I hate to say this, from one of our barn cats that are actually technically like farm or wood cats. They're just our outside cats, y'all. Um and they had gotten a hold of like a little baby bunny. Um and um she tried to save it, and it ended up passing away. And so my husband said the next time we came across a bunny, he would get it for her. Oh my gosh. So what does he do? He comes across a Flemish giant, y'all. And he was awesome. His name was Hercules. And he was humongous. Humongous. Okay. So, um, anyways, we had him for a couple of years, and it's a tragic story, I'll be honest with you. He was um he was outside in a metal cage, okay? A metal cage on the side of the house, and he had his own little like hutch to go into and to get out of the sun or the elements or whatever. And did you guys know that there is such a thing as a swarm of fleas? I didn't know that was even a thing. Like I've had like we've dealt with fleas and stuff, but we went out and he was passed away, okay? And my son said, "Mom, there's all these bugs all over him." And I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?" And so he's like, "I don't know what kind of bugs they are, but they're like climbing up my leg and, all this stuff." So, anyways, we went out to go investigate, and we had a I swear, Vix, it was so crazy. Like for weeks in just this one area of our yard where he was, right next to the house, um, they were thick. Like you would go out and your legs would be black with these fleas. And I was out there every day, twice a day with bug killer, spraying it everywhere when before I finally got them tamped down. Like I had never known that was even a thing. And my husband, who, he grew up in this area, like he had never heard of it. My mother-in-law had never heard of it. Like we felt so bad that that it happened to him because he was such a sweet bunny. Um, but who would have ever thought? Who would have thought that was a thing? Not me. We were shocked. We were just so craziness. It was craziness. Okay, I'm going to, let's see. I want to do, what do I want to do, y'all? I know what I want to do, but I got to get my brain to work around it here. Um, don't want to use a wet one. Let's see. I guess we'll use one of these and get a new little brush here. But I really don't need a lot. I just need just a little bit. You guys, I hate using paintbrushes. Anybody else with me? I'm so bad about washing them up afterwards. Um, I'm good at putting them in water, but I'm not good at washing them up. But um, I'm going to use, so I use the DIY paint, you guys, which is clay based. Um, and so I have to seal it. They have to be sealed. And I want to seal it in so I can put some wax on it. So we're just going to use some liquid patina to seal it in. It's another step that has to dry, which, that part kind of sucks. But if you're going to do it, might as well do it right. So, and if you don't seal it in, you can just go straight wax onto this, and that would seal it. The only thing is, um, oh, you don't seal your smalls? It depends on what it is, I guess. But I don't know. I'm going to sell this, so I don't want to chance anything happening to it, but I do want to add wax to it. And if I just um, put the dark wax on this, which would seal it, my friends, but if I just did the dark wax, it might make the color just a little too dark. And so I am going to, I sealed it with the liquid patina, and then I will put the dark wax on it after that. And then I'm going to add it to this cute little situation here. And I need to make another little bow since I used the other one because, you know. So we'll do that while we wait for this to do its little drawing thing. So when I make my bows, you guys, again, I just kind of make a little loopy situation. And there we go. And then I take, depending on what size I want it to be, this one I want to be tiny. So I'm just going to use two little fingers and wrap it around my fingers a couple of times, and then I just kind of pinch it in the center, try to find where center is close enough, and oh, yes, I love crinoline. Crinoline's one of my favorites to use, and but I mean, I don't know, I don't know if I really have a favorite, but I think crinoline is really one of the best. Okay, look at me making a mess. Okay, so I just kind of, and then right before I really tighten it down, I just kind of maneuver things around a little bit if I've messed it up. Oh, I love greens. Green is my favorite color by far. Okay, now I'm gonna tighten that. Ugh, and then I'm gonna glue it. Um, Green is my favorite color by far. But as far as like a DIY color, like a color just to use in general. I don't know. I like a lot of colors. I like neutrals. Um, I like color. Like I'm kind of all over the place, but like is my bedroom color is olive green, and I've decided to do my bedroom in a like romantic. Oh, pumpkin orange. Um, like I have like a romantic woodland look I'm kind of doing in my master bedroom. Um, but like when I lived in Arizona, I had um I had olive green, tan, and red because we had like an open floor plan room. So, oh, maroon and robins. Oh, okay. And you want it to be more. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. So are you wanting them to like maroon and the robin's egg together, or are you wanting just to switch from maroon into the robin's egg? Um I had my living room was tan and olive green with just slight hints of um like a darker red, like a darker red. Oh, repaint from okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then my dining room, which opened up into the kitchen, like my kitchen, dining room, living room was all one big room. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And so, my my living or my kitchen wall was red, like this deep, rich red color, and I did like that. It was very pretty, but when you look at color theory and the idea of what colors bring to your mood and stuff, um, the color red, yes, it does make you think of. Um, I don't want this one. Oh, but that one I do. Okay, perfect. Um, It does kind of make you, it makes you hungry. Like that's why you see it a lot in kitchens is the color red is a food hungry color, right? But it also is a very loud color. It embarks and makes you it brings on energy and that kind of thing. And so looking at color theory and looking at my family dynamic, okay, I decided when we moved to Oregon to go in the direction in a different direction, which my husband loved. He loved the idea that I was just going to completely change all of our decor and have to buy something brand new. That's totally a joke because he was not a happy character about it. Okay, look at that. Isn't that sweet? Okay. Um, so I switched everything to blues and greens. Of course, I still have tans because you got to have those neutrals in there, you guys. But blues and greens and tans and just a more muted, calming color scheme. Um, did it work? I don't really know. I mean, kids are going to be kids, but I'm happier with it. It's more what I enjoy looking at. Um, and so I did change everything up, but I did have red before. Okay, look at this cutie. We're going to use this. Why not? We might as well. So, because I was looking at it like this does not, like, this is not the right greenery for this. That's not going to look so good together. So we're not going to do that. But I wanted more than just these. I think I'm going to put that in there. That's going to look good together. So we'll do that. I think I need to trim this one down though. Yes, I would love to see a picture of your mantle. You know what, when I was trying to decide what I wanted to be when I grew up, um I almost went to school to be an interior designer. And so I've always loved decorating and creating. My mom is probably the best creator I've ever seen in my life, you guys. Um, she was, like I said, she's a seamstress. I'm really kind of excited to try to help her to start using her sewing machine again. But because she used to make all of our clothes, you guys. When I was a little girl, I don't think I had much for store bought clothes until I was maybe late grade school. My mom made all of our clothes, and it was cheaper back then to do that. And so she made our clothes, and then um, she knows how to paint. She was a cake decorator. She owned a cake shop and bakery um, growing up, and that's actually where her best friend met her. Was my mom used to teach Wilton cake classes at J.C. Penney's of all places, you guys. Okay, I'm trying to get this to go in there, and it is not playing nice. Listen, Linda, get in there. Um, so yeah, so my mom she's always been an amazing creator, and I think that's part of why I'm so sad about her new diagnosis is that I mean, her mind is not going to heal, but she still has abilities. I just need to be able to help her use those abilities. You know what I mean? Um, she was so cute last time I was there. I was I started my business in the paper crafting world. Um, and so, of course, to support me, she did paper crafting. So she has a couple different scrapbooks, and one of them is of the cakes that she had made. Um, she made live size cakes, you guys, live size cakes. And let's see if that's going to stay. Let's see. Um, so she's at the nursing or at the assisted living place, and she's trying to tell them about her life size cakes, and they're not really quite grasping it, right? Which makes sense because it's a hard concept to understand. So she's like, will you go get my scrapbook from my house and so I can show them? And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. So anyway, so I talked to her, and when I go back this time, I'm going to get that scrapbook of hers, and I'm going to bring it home and go take it down and have it professionally duplicated, basically just photo printing um, her scrapbook so I can have um the images of what she did. But um okay, you guys, so I just used DIY's um dark wax on top of this bunny. So I sealed it, I painted it, then I sealed it. Now I'm using the DIY dark wax with it. And I should have put this in. See, this is why I'm not good with paintbrushes, because I should have put that away in water. Okay, so I'm just gonna. So it's basically like Mr. Miyagi and the Karate Kid. You wax on, you wax off. And now that bunny has dimension, and now I'm going to put that in the water because I remembered. So now that bunny has dimension, and here we go. Let's get it on to the front of this. I'll put quite a bit of glue. I don't know if I need that much glue, but I want this bunny to stay. I probably could have put like E6000. Oh yeah, it's like seeping out the sides, which, okay, whatever. E6000 probably would have been okay. And like Vic said, I can technically could have gone and put this in the microwave for a second and made the bunny mold to the spindle curve just a little bit better, but I'm not going to worry about that. Just going to get it on there. Oh my gosh, this is so stinking cute, y'all. Look at that. Look at how cute that is. Okay, look at this. I just happen to be looking up at my, it's adorable, right? Looking up at my thing. Okay, if you guys were here for my last craft with me video, I was crafting and all of a sudden, boop, I was gone. Yeah, that would be because my phone died and I didn't realize it was getting low on battery. I just saw my notification. I'm good. Okay, but look at how cute that is. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, now let's put on a bow. And that'll just finish and it'll be done. And I don't even know, but this could be so cute in a, like one of those mini trays, added to a gift, put in a vignette. Oh my gosh. Y'all, look at how cute that is. Oh my gosh. It is adorable. It's so good. And I love that little bunny. Like that bunny is in a Christmas mold, y'all. Like, can you even believe that? Craziness. No, that's not Christmas. That's gonna be, yeah, that's so cute. I'm so happy with that one. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out where the heck to set it so it's not gonna, okay. So is this dry enough? I think this is dry enough to glue. Let's get that done. Let's get that done. Yes, send me pictures. I would love to see it. Um, I also love to see like I've had a couple people buy things from me that like during my shows, and then they've sent me pictures to show me like how they staged it up. I love that. Okay, kind of wanting to make a messy bow real quick. Okay, now I've got wax everywhere and I need to clean that off because I'm going to make a disaster. Y'all, do you ever feel like your craft space is never quite the way you want it to be? That's kind of where I'm at right now. Oh, yeah, I probably will, Vix. I probably will. Okay, so I think what I want to do for this, 'cause I'm just kind of like, okay, let's get a messy bow going here. I just want to rip some little thin strips of fabric. So this is that muslin. You guys, I had gotten, I thrifted some, well, that didn't work. See, that's the only thing I don't like is when you rip, sometimes it just doesn't want to do what you want it to do. Um, I had thrifted some quilt, like squares that were started, but they weren't finished. And they, hmm, and they had this muslin fabric, like attached by like a slight stitch, but not really attached. And I don't really understand why they even had it, but I was like, all right. So um, I detached it because it wasn't necessary for the quilt square. I don't know what they were trying to hold together. It was confusing, but anyways, so then I ended up with all this extra muslin, and I'm like, I'm not mad about that. And so yeah, so we're gonna have this. Let's get this. I like to use I like to use fabric for my bows. Not to say I don't have a ton of ribbon because I do. Ribbon, lace, all the things, but I do like fabric. It's like you get more of a variety in color and pattern when you use fabric. And I have been known, and the cut counter ladies hate me. No, they really don't, because I mean they get paid by the hour, so really, but um when fabric goes on sale and I walk up and I have like a mountain of fabric and I'm like, yeah, I'd like a fourth of a yard of every one of these, because I know I just want to use it for ribbon, like, yeah, they're like, oh my God, seriously? Seriously, lady, what are you doing? And but I have been known to do that. Okay, so I like that. Let's see, what else do we want to do? Let's do some of this fabric because this is really pretty. I like this one. So let's get a couple strips of this one. And ah, does anybody else do that? Do you use ribbon or fabric for your ribbon? Or do you just use straight up ribbon? You know, I don't think there's anything wrong either way. Oh, you're a half yard girl. Well, I think it's just depending on, I guess it depends on how much I love the fabric. Like if I know, oh my gosh, I'm just going to use this for nothing but ribbon, I will get just about a quarter of a yard. You use fabric for ribbon too? Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, Bix, you should see my, that would be my drop cloth, my friend. That would be my drop cloth. Do you get it from Harbor Freight? That's where I get mine. It's the cheapest. Um, and I always think like I should put these like threads like outside somewhere and just like let the birds have them. I don't know. Anyways, but um if I find a fabric and I'm like, okay, I probably will use that for something more than just ribbon. Um or I know like if it's like Christmas fabric and I know that I'm going to be doing a ton of projects with it, I will get like a half a yard. Um but it's like, oh, an onion sack. Hmm, I don't get onion sacks like that. I don't know. Um but if I am let's get rid of that. If I'm, just doing just whatever, I tend to yeah, I tend to just get just a little bit and drive the ladies crazy at the cut counter because I have to have a little bit of everything, you know what I mean? Um you know what? Fat quarters for me, it's not that I don't like fat quarters cuz I do. Um I just don't know if I get them very often, you know? Okay, I think I really like this color because of the color of, oh wait, I'm not doing this for that one. I'm doing it for something else. Oh, for Pete's sakes, Jen. You can use whatever color you want. Let me see. What color do I want to do? I think I want to do some lace ribbon. And I need a darker. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. I got what I'm going to do here. I think I want some lighter color in there. So I'm going to cut a couple of pieces here. Let's do. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? I love that idea. Um, Vix, are you part of, and I don't remember, did you join the upcoming May um, Build a Book train? I don't remember what all you're in. I know you're in almost every one of my trains, but we're going to be doing in May Build a Book train. I'm excited for that. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, well, I'll put you on. We can either add you as a caboose and just make the train a little bit longer if you want to do that, or I could put you on the wait list in case someone decides that they can't do it. But yeah, we are doing I'm doing a lot more of my crafting things. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, it would be after 5 if you were the caboose. Okay, so this is actually what I'm trying what I'm making a messy bow for. Um, so I like, because I have this color here, I thought this was kind of pretty. So I'm gonna add that in there. And the messy bow is gonna go over here on this side of it. I'm probably gonna need to tack this down just a little bit. I just need to get a glue that I know won't shine through the or maybe I don't know. Let me think. I might throw another stitch in there. Maybe throw a stitch in there instead, just to tack it down since I sewed everywhere else. But I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyways, but it is wood of the cross. It is a hymnal page that I do sell in my bin, and it is from the Easter Vigil, and so I think I'm gonna do a messy bow. I might go get I think I have a wooden cross I might put in the middle of the messy bow. And this is the drop cloth fabric that me and Vix were just talking about. And this is the same muslin um, fabric that I was just talking about. This is a IOD um, transfer there that I put on. And in this, I actually thrifted. It came in like this. I don't know what this is. It's like it's finished on the edge, you know, and no, this isn't for the book ones. I was just wondering since you were talking about different things that you put in your book ones. But anyways, I just stole this off of there and I stitched it onto this. No, this is for an upcoming I have some upcoming shows that are just things that we've made. Um so you guys can bookmark my shows. These are coming up. But yeah, I'm just kind of working on this one. I use the clickable stamps to do resin here and a little bit of mixed media kind of thing going on. But that's what I'm making the messy bow for. And okay, let me think. I need more color though. So I got this going on. I need more color, y'all. Um, and so let me think. What color do I want to add into this? We could go like the bright pink to tie that in a little bit more. I do have this. Yeah, I think that's neat. That might look good. Add a little more pattern and um yeah, I'm doing a lot of different things, you guys. I have decided okay, you go live for a bit, my friend. I'm going to actually probably finish this messy bow and then get off. But um, I'm trying really hard, you guys, to come on and do as much as I can while my mom is, or while I'm not with my mom. And then when I go see my mom, then I'm not doing much that week on whatnot. But if anybody orders anything while I'm gone, they can definitely get it because my family can. Um, oh, now you want to craft. Well, hey, that's what this is all about, right? Finding inspiration and that kind of thing. My my friend Marianne here, you guys know Marianne, Little Miss Crafty. She I think I'm going to use this. Um, she has some Chocator stuff, and I Chocatored on one of these things, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, now I got to go get mine out," you know. And I love that. That's what this is all about, is trying to inspire, and it's fun to craft with people around and have somebody to chat with. And one, two, three, four. Oh, I don't even know how many I have here. I want five, but um so yeah, get in your craft room. Crafting is therapeutic, y'all. Crafting is therapeutic. Okay, now I got little strings here, and I want a string to tie this up with. So I'm gonna do that number. Okay, now, now we build. It is therapeutic, you know. I mean, sometimes we just need to get out of our heads and get into the craft room and create something one of a kind, and that kind of thing. And that was definitely needed today. Um, okay, here we go. So when you make a messy bow, there's no real rhyme or reason. You just create it the way you like it. And so you just make sure that you're kind of offsetting um, your different things so that you don't have everything completely one on top of each other. Um, so, and then let's see, we're going to do one of those. And then, oh yeah, one of these. And you don't have to even stress and worry about what order they're going in, because, or how long they are and that kind of thing, because you can go in and trim it up and do all the things down the road. It doesn't have to be, 100% figured out quite yet. So you just kind of stack things one on top of the other, and no real rhyme or reason. And let's see, I need to put in another one of these, and then we'll do that one, and we'll do that, and that, another one of those. Kind of wanted two of these, so we'll just do that. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's all of them. Got it. We've got it, my friend. So I'm going to, oh my gosh, if my fingers would work. My son's coming in the door, y'all. So when you hear the squeaky, that's what it is. Okay, so then you just really tighten it, and I want that to be the front. So I'm gonna swing this around and do it on this side too. Oh, and then you pull like super, super tight. And then I like to, like I had said before, I like to take my glue gun and just add just the tiniest bit of glue on that knot, just to kind of seal that in. I don't even know how much glue is coming out. Okay. Just to kind of seal that in. And then that way, when I cut it, if I cut it, I don't think I need to cut this one because it's part of that messy bow. But um, then I have it. And I'm gonna probably use this to tie it on to the other piece. And then you just kind of squish it around, and um, And then trim where you want to trim it, how you want to trim it. I do want these to be cut at an angle. I don't want them all to um, be square. So I'm going to do that at least. And if you have a fabric or a ribbon that frays really bad and you don't want it to do that, you can add like the tiniest bit of hot glue to the edge of your fabric and stop it from fraying or whatever. So, like I said, I think I might add um, a wooden cross to the middle of this, just because that kind of fits what the song is on there. And okay, I'm just gonna kind of angle these. I don't want these square either. And these also have like the finished edge on some of them, and I don't like that look. So let's see. Is there any more? Did I miss any? That one's got a frayed edge. That's fine. That's frayed. That's fine. Okay. And then eventually these threads will kind of unravel and then become their own little individual strings, which I think is going to look cute. Okay. Let's let's do this. Let's just tie. Okay, so we're gonna tie that on the side like something like that, and then messy it up. Probably add a little cross in there, and then this one would be ready to be trimmed up. Super cute. I might trim it back a little bit. But I wanted this to show. I wanted to bring in the color. I think that kind of does the trick. So that one turned out really cute. Super happy with that. So you guys, I think I'm gonna call it the end of my show because I've been on for quite some time. And oh, thank you so much. But you guys, thank you for coming and hanging out with me and listening to me and chatting with me and all the things. And definitely come back and see me again. I'll be back on. So if you guys have the notification where you get to know when I go live, you'll see when I get back on and we can hang out again. So thanks you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Let's go find someone to raid. Let's see who's on. Maybe somebody else is crafting and we can hang out with them. But let's see. No, not there. Let's see. Does anybody know anyone that's on already? Because I don't really know. Hmm. Oh, thank you so much for saying that. Um, I think that. Oh, okay. Let me see. Vnurra. Okay, hold on. I'll have to type it in. Vaurr. Oh no, it's not coming on. Let's see. See if I saw it right. Vnurr. Okay. Vnurr. Vnurr. It doesn't like that person. So, oh, VMU. Okay. Okay. VMU. I was like, oh no. Yeah. VMURR. There we go. Let's go check this person out. Thank you so much, you guys. Bye. Raid.